My husband refused to work and spent every day drinking with friends. The day he asked me for beer money changed everything. For 6 years, I carried our entire marriage on my shoulders. My name is Sarah, and while my husband, Mark, spent most of his days sitting at home with friends, I was the one working overtime, paying bills, buying groceries, cooking meals, cleaning the house, and keeping our lives together. Every month, I hoped things would change. Every month, he promised they would. I'll start looking for a job next week. I'm working on a business idea. Things will get better soon. But soon never came. The only thing that seemed to increase was the number of empty beer cans in our living room. One evening, after a long 12-hour shift, I came home exhausted. The sink was full of dishes. The house was a mess. And Mark was sitting on the couch with his friends, watching TV. As soon as I walked in, he asked me for money. Not for rent. Not for groceries. Not for electricity. Beer. When I quietly told him I couldn't afford it because bills were due, he became angry. The argument escalated, and for the first time, he crossed a line that should never be crossed. In that moment, something inside me changed. I didn't yell. I didn't argue. I didn't try to convince him to change anymore. That night, after everyone went to sleep, I packed a suitcase. I took my important documents, my savings, and a few personal belongings. Then I walked out the door without saying a word. And I never went back. The next morning, I met with a lawyer. Since we had no shared property, no major assets, and no complicated financial ties, the divorce process was surprisingly straightforward. A few months later, it was finalized. Legally and emotionally, I was free. Soon after, I requested a transfer through my company and accepted a position in a quiet province several hours away. The town was small, peaceful, no loud arguments, no unwanted guests, no empty promises. For the first time in years, I could hear birds outside my window instead of shouting in the living room. Life wasn't suddenly perfect, but it was calm. And sometimes, calm is exactly what healing looks like. Today, I have my own apartment, a stable career, and peace of mind. Looking back, leaving wasn't the hardest thing I ever did. Staying had been. Because the moment I stopped trying to save someone who didn't want to change, I finally started saving myself. And that was the beginning of a much better life.